The idea is, first of all, yes, as you say, to challenge Ben and Jerry's and World Unilever to come and see what their allegations is, how they defend their trademark.
Folks, as you know, social media censorship is growing. The best way to support our video work for Israel is to subscribe to our video newsletter on pulseofisrael.com and to share our videos. If you are already a subscriber, then thank you. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in our eternal and ancestral homeland, the land of Israel, in our eternal and undivided capital today, Jerusalem. So we're going to go back to dealing with this whole Ben and Jerry's boycott of Israel / Judea and Samaria. Today, from a very interesting angle, we're going to be speaking with the founder and president of the Shurat Hadin Law Center, Nitsana DarshanLeitner, and she is going to be really explaining to us a fabulous and I believe brilliant legal strategy to really take on Ben and Jerry's from a totally different angle. So let's bring on Nitsana. Shalom, shalom, Nitsana. How are you today?
Hi, Avi. I'm great.
Now, listen, I've been following you for years, for decades even. Amazing, amazing work. You want to give everyone like a little 2-cent background on what the Shurat Hadin Law Center is all about before we delve into Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah, Shurat Hadin is a civil rights organization which utilizes the court systems to go around, to go against Israel's enemies around the world. We sue those who want to delegitimize the state of Israel, those who want to terrorize it. We have lawsuits on behalf of terror victims, against terror entities and state sponsors, against social media, against banks that provide financial services to terror organizations. We fight BDS, delegitimization, fighting Airbnb, fighting now Ben and Jerry's. We are protecting IDF soldiers and the state of Israel from war crimes allegations in the International Criminal Court, and we just give an answer to every challenge or threat against the Jewish state, which has the fight in the legal arena.
All right, and again, for those of you who are not familiar, I highly recommend for you to check out the amazing work that Shurat Hadin does, and it continues to do on the legal front for Israel and the Jewish people. So now, the other day, I see a headline that totally caught me from a totally different direction. I wasn't expecting to see such a headline dealing with Ben and Jerry's incident, and it says Ben and Jerry's Israel pullout creates potential trademark battle. I'm thinking, whoa, what is going on here? Why a trademark battle? So further into the article, it comes out that this is a strategy that you are leading via Shurat Hadin. So can you explain to us why a trademark battle?
Because Ben and Jerry's announced that they are no longer going to sell or produce their ice cream in Judea and Samaria. They basically abandoned their trademark. In order to protect the trademark, you have to be active at the same territory. When you register a trademark, it's not global. It goes by the pieces, by the land, by the area that you are going to work at, and it has to be with good faith, meaning that you cannot register it just to protect yourself. You have to register it only if you have intention to work in this area. Once Ben and Jerry's announced that they no longer want to be active in Judea and Samaria, they abandoned their trademark. They just waived the right to the trademark, and then it's free. The trademark is free. Everybody can take it, and we in Shurat Hadin are establishing a corporation called Judea and Samaria, Ben and Jerry's, and our goal is to seize this trademark.
Are you seriously planning on entering the ice cream business, or am I correct in assessing that you are imagining they're going to be suing you over this?
You know what, Avi? It can be a nice exit from Shurat Hadin. However,
Nitsana, nobody wants you to exit Shurat Hadin. Okay, nobody wants you. Keep it up.
Okay. The idea is, first of all, yes, as you say, to challenge Ben & Jerry's and World Unilever to come and see what their allegation is, how they defend their trademark. It's not an easy thing to let a trademark go. It creates a very bad precedent. The trademark is something very precious. The companies are fighting for protecting it. So it's not going to be so easy for them to come and let it go to another company. And the second stage is really to work with an ice cream manufacturers to come and give them the right and let them manufacture different flavors, different tastes. We even have an idea of frozen chosen people. We have nice things that we can do with the Ben & Jerry's Judea and Samaria ice cream.
Wow. So yeah, it sounds like you're definitely going along the very realistic line of potentially manufacturing ice cream under the Ben & Jerry's name for Judea and Samaria. But enlighten us. What can come out in this court case if they do sue you for going after their trademark? Like, what are you expecting that might come that will help Israel?
Look, they will have to come and explain their policy. All right. I want them to come and say how come, or to explain if they are backing off from occupied territories, if this is against their policy, their ideology, how come they don't back off from other occupied territories in the world, like Northern Cyprus? How come they keep working in Western Sahara? They keep selling ice cream in Tibet and the Crimea. How come they do that? So if their answer will be, we just simply anti-Semitic, I want the entire world. I want the Jewish community, the Christian community, and the entire United States to understand that Unilever is anti-Semite organization.
Wow, unbelievable. So what are the next steps now? You made the announcement. When do you expect to hear something from Ben & Jerry's International?
We just send them the letter. We filed our request with the Corporation Registry, with the Justice Ministry here in Israel. We expecting them to come back to us every day. Meanwhile, this is the strategy that I want everybody to know, that this is a way to fight BDS, to fight the boycotters. Everyone who wants to boycott Israel, everybody wants to boycott an area in Israel, should be aware, should know that he's waiving his right to act on these areas, and we are going to take it over. We are going to seize the trademark. We're going to seize the right to manufacture, to produce the same product. It will be a competition, and in the end, we will win.
Brilliant strategy, because again, what you just opened up to us is this is just an opening shot. If any other major brand dares go in this direction as well, they should expect this same reaction of a trademark war. Yeah. Wow, where did you get the inspiration for such an idea? It's totally out of left field. Like, I was like, whoa.
We have a legal team that think about these ideas, and anywhere that the state of Israel fails to protect or to fight back against the boycotters, we step in. The recent move that we did was concerning the blacklist of the UN. Israel had a fight against the UN, the Human Rights Commission of the UN, for publishing corporations that are working in Judea and Samaria as under a headline of depriving the Palestinian rights, breaching Palestinian rights for the main scene that they are all Jewish-owned. The state of Israel fought against publishing this list and failed, and in the end, the UN published it. We went and filed a lawsuit on behalf of Rami Levy, one of the corporations that was on the blacklist. Rami Levy has supermarkets in these areas, against the UN. We filed a lawsuit against the UN. Despite the UN immunity, we came and said, in this case, the UN does not have immunity because the list is totally racist. They claim they list all Israeli corporations, but they're only Jewish-owned corporations, not Arab-owned, not Muslims, not Christians, nothing, just Jewish. This is racist, and this is against the UN treaty. In this case, the UN should not enjoy immunity. So now it's in the stage that the court is asking the Attorney General's opinion whether he agrees that the UN in this case does not have immunity. And here you have an opportunity. Here the State of Israel has an opportunity to fight against the UN. All the Attorney General has to do is to come and say, indeed, in this instance, the UN list is racist. They should not enjoy immunity. This is the way for the State of Israel to fight back, but we see that they usually don't go all the way and usually drop the ball in the middle. So we, in the civil society, have to step in. We are the civilians, the lawyers, the organizations, the non-for-profits have to go and fight for the State of Israel, for Judea and Samaria.
So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask you about that specific point. And if you could just expand it for some people who don't understand, because on the one hand, they might be scratching their heads thinking, wait a second, yeah, the official State of Israel should be fighting this. Why does Nitsana DarshanLeitner just have her own law firm and deal with whatever other laws? Why is she taking on cases that, in a sense, the State of Israel should be pursuing in order to defend Israel?
That's a question of the century, I would say. A lot of our cases could have been handled by the State of Israel. Fighting Yasser Arafat, the Palestinian Authority, fighting Iran, Syria, getting compensations for the victims instead of getting national security, national insurance payments, Bituach Leumi payments. This is something that the state should have done. Pursuing justice on behalf of those who got boycott is something that the state should have done. But unfortunately, sometimes the state has other political interests, has other considerations, has international treaties that they're signed of. They're not necessarily very easy of suing banks or suing the social media. It's only for us that our hands are not tied. We don't have to be so politically correct. We have one goal: to bankrupt terrorism, one loss at a time. We have one goal: to defend the Jewish state. And we are free to utilize any tool we have, any court we have, any means we have in order to fulfill our mission.
All right. Well, thank you so much for explaining that. On the one hand, it's like it's a sad anecdote to internalize that so many of these fronts where the state should be defending the Jewish state of Israel and the Jewish people, they just drop the ball for whatever reasons. But on the positive side, it is nice to know that we have people and organizations like your own picking up the ball and taking up the fight. Sometimes you could say even better and in a more creative way than if the state would have done it. So on behalf of the Jewish people and the Jewish state of Israel, Nitsana, thank you very much for all the important work you do.
Thank you, Avi. It was a pleasure being on your show.
Pleasure. Kol Tov, Yom Tov. And again, good luck. Looking forward to seeing the updates of the case.
We will.
Or tasting your ice cream.
It'll be the first one.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. There you go. You just enjoyed, hopefully you enjoyed hearing more from Nitsana in this specific case and all the important work she does with Shuat Hadin. Again, if you're not familiar with Shuat Hadin, go check it out. Google it. Go to the website. They do really fabulous, unbelievable, and important work, putting aside whether or not the State of Israel should be doing it. But she is definitely filling this need, and very successfully as well. So signing off for another episode of the Pulse of Israel here in our eternal and ancestral homeland. Thanks for watching. And again, you guys all know social media censorship is growing. If you want to continue receiving our videos with the truth of what's going on in Israel and the Jewish people, go to pulseofisrael.com and sign up for our video newsletter. Thanks a lot, everyone. Shalom.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.